Welcome to Badminton Unlimited, your weekly access to badminton action and beyond. This week we sit down with Danish men's singles shuttler Hans-Kristian Vitting as he talks about his long climb to the elite of the sport. And we're in the Philippines to find out how one club is working hard to produce the next national badminton superstar. He likes the big smashes.
Oh my goodness, take that.
He can be deceptive.
Great disguised.
And he never gives up.
Goodness me. And again. Very good defense.
He's the Dane everyone loves. Hans-Kristian Vitting.
When I play, I want to send a signal that I'm a guy that's fighting a lot and that's very passionate. And more than anything, I want to show everyone that I'm enjoying what I'm doing.
We were in Copenhagen recently, and Badminton Unlimited dropped in on Hans-Kristian Vitting to find out more about the Danish men's singles number 2. As a junior player, Vitting was top of his class. He was the national champion 4 times and a gold medalist at the Under-19 European Championships. He was seen as the future of Danish badminton.
When I was very young, I was very successful. And as you say, in the last 2-3 years of my junior time, I was kind of being told I was the next big thing in men's singles from Denmark. And I really believe that, and that's also why I think 10 years ago I would have thought that I was a better player now than I actually am. I don't think it was difficult to deal with, actually. And I was also, I was overtaken quite quickly by Janne Jørgensen, actually, who came to the national center, and he started progressing rapidly, where my progression was a bit more steady, but also slower.
Vitting won his first international title at the Norwegian Open in 2006, and he did it in some style by beating former world number 1 Roslyn Hashim in the final. Motivated by that initial win, the Dane quickly followed up with 2 more titles in Turkey and Germany. But just as the then 21-year-old was enjoying the highs of his success and was on the verge of a place in the Danish national team, he was diagnosed with a tumor in his knee.
Yeah, I think that was a really tough period in my career, actually, because right before I got this knee surgery, I was really making progress, and I was getting closer and closer to being a real part of the national team. I was a contender for being the last guy on the Thomas Cup squad. And then all of a sudden, after winning the Turkish International and performing well in Bitburger Open, I was told that I needed surgery in my knee, and I was out for these 3-4 months. And it was a big blow for me, because I felt like I was finally getting closer to where I wanted to be.
Vitting was out of action for several months, but he was determined to get back to what he loved. He remained optimistic throughout his rehabilitation, focusing on his return to the competitive arena.
Actually, I think I dealt with it in a good way, and I think, like many other athletes, I actually came back stronger, and I was a better player when I started playing again. When you get these injury problems and you need to take a break, you also gain something from it. You kind of fall in love with the sport again, because you can't play it. So I think it's like little kids, that if you want something and you can't have it, then you want it even more. And that's kind of the same feeling I got with badminton, that I just wanted to work even harder and try even harder.
Vitting was ranked 125th when he returned from injury, but it has been tough to regain the momentum. His task has been made the more painful as he has seen his compatriot Janne Jørgensen grab the headlines. In 2009, Jørgensen moved into the top 10 in the world rankings and has gone on to establish himself as one of the best shuttlers in international badminton. In the meantime, there are younger Danes making their mark. Viktor Axelsen won his first major international title at the Swiss Open Grand Prix Gold earlier in the year, and grabbed bronze at the recently concluded Leaning BWF World Championships. With all these pressures on the court, Vitting has had to look within.
I kind of got things into perspective, that maybe I should start focusing on more than just playing badminton and winning matches, but also realize that there's more to it than just working hard on court. You need to be a happy person outside court, and you need to be able to kind of get rid of these disappointments. Because if you look at any top player, they get disappointed many times a year. There's only one guy who can win the tournament you play. So everyone else actually leaves the tournament as a loser because they lost the last match they played.
Never one to give up, he persevered, and his hard work over the years has finally paid off. The Dane broke into the top 10 earlier this year.
To sit here now and be top 10 in the world and feel that I'm actually getting better every year is it's a great feeling and a great satisfaction. So I'm happy with where I am, but I also feel that I still haven't achieved everything that's possible for me. I think I can still progress and get higher up the rankings and play for some of the important titles in the future.
Now beginning to live up to the potential that made him such a star in the juniors, he puts his newfound consistency down to experience.
I think in general it's because I'm getting older, and with older I'm also getting wiser. I've been a little bit too wild earlier. I've tried to just power my way through all my opponents, and maybe I didn't really understand the game well enough to also be a bit economic with my energy and power throughout a match, so I would kind of die out. And it just wasn't a suitable way of going through a whole tournament. And I think I have a better understanding of that now, that I need to be a bit wiser and think about how I use my energy and power. So I think that's the major reason why I've progressed so much this year.
We can surely expect more in the future from this dynamic Dane, and like most, his dream is to medal at the Olympics in Rio. But above all, whether he attains his dreams or not, Vitting wants to be remembered as the player who loved the game and gave his all every time he stepped on court.
Even if I don't win those tournaments, if just people remember me as the guy who was happy, passionate, and did everything he did every time he was on court, then I can be happy and proud about what I achieved in my career.
Time to test your badminton knowledge. We want you to name the first player to win 2 titles at the same World Superseries finals. We'll give you the answer after the break.
So, the 34-year-old Indian Arvind Bhatt comes onto court.
He is an outstanding player. He's an outstanding personality. Lovely man.
Bread and omelette. A Swarovski iPhone cover. Watch. Whiplash from Metallica. Is a house. Was when I won the German Open. I have a Skoda.
His first ever Grand Prix gold title, and he's done it in style.
We head to the Philippines after the break to report on the Asuncion Badminton Center as it attempts to produce a national champion to rival the best in the world. Welcome back. Before the break, we asked you to name the first shuttler to win 2 titles at the same World Superseries finals. The answer is Christina Pedersen. The Danish shuttler first teamed up with Camilla Ritter-Juhl to beat China's Ma Jin and Tang Jinhua 21-19, 21-12, and later returned to the court with partner Joachim Fischer-Nielsen to nick the mixed doubles crown by beating China's world #1 and reigning Olympic champions Zhang Nan and Zhao Yunlei 12-21, 21-19, 21-10 at the 2013 BWF World Superseries finals. The Dane not only became the first and only player to win 2 titles at the same World Superseries finals, but also created history with her partner Yul by becoming the first European pair to win the women's doubles title. For our keen Badminton Unlimited viewers, many will recall our feature on the achievements of the badminton team from the Ateneo de Manila University. The student athletes had claimed a double, winning the men's and women's crowns at the recent National Collegiate Tournament. While there is no doubt the wins must go down to the hard work and dedication of the players, but plenty of recognition must be given to the Asuncion Badminton Center. The academy is one of the best in the Philippines and was built on the belief that players from the country should and could compete at the highest levels.
I feel na parang we Filipino can do it.
I felt that as Filipinos, we can do it. Countries like China and Indonesia are amongst the best in the world. So if they can, I thought we can surely achieve just as much. That's why we have this place. We want to show and prove that we can do it as well.
Located in San Juan City in Manila, the country's capital, Asuncion Badminton Center began operations in 2004. But it was actually in the early 80s that the founder, Nelson Asuncion, started drawing up plans. He was then a coach at the Valle Verde Country Club and was overseeing a successful period in local tournaments. Many aspiring players wanted to be a part of the wave of success, but were unable to participate due to a lack of funds.
In Valle Verde Country Club, kailangan maging member ka before you.
In Valle Verde Country Club, you need to be a member before you can join the training. Many were appealing to me to train them, but financially, they just couldn't afford it. I felt so helpless that I can't reach out to them. That's when I thought, I need a place of my own. At the Valle Verde Country Club, if you're not a member or a dependent, you don't have the right to play or train.
Coach Nelson, as he's more popularly known, formed a group of stakeholders to realize that ambition. In a country where basketball reigns supreme, finding sponsors for funding was always going to be difficult. But even as he struggled to find the money for his new venture, Nelson was producing champions. His children, Kenovich and Kenny, won an unprecedented bronze in the mixed doubles at the 2003 Southeast Asian Games. It was the boost the planned academy needed. It not only got financial backing, but it brought them much-needed publicity.
So these courts are here so that we can train the best badminton players, produce the best in the Philippines, and hopefully someday get some of them into, World Championship or Olympic Championship status. That is still the dream.
Asuncion Badminton Center is a 5-story building that houses 8 courts, 6 of which are specified to international standards. It has a weights area and all the comforts an aspiring shuttler needs. Whilst these facilities are impressive, it is the training offered by the Asuncion family that offers the best attraction. It's their experience at the top levels of the game that brings an overwhelming number of students.
For trainings, we do accept kids 7 and up. The reason for that is because we need the kids to be able to distinguish right and left.
So from there, parang we identify yung mga may potential.
During summer, there are kids who come here to train. So from there, we identify those kids who can be potential players. Then we also check the background of these kids and see how supportive their parents are. We choose a few and we invite them to train during school days. We start on weekends, which is Friday, Saturday and Sunday. So from there, once they are improving, we will add weekdays to their training until it becomes a daily routine.
So nagiging everyday, hanggang naging everyday sila. So
whilst badminton is developing in the country, it still has many challenges, not least of which is the dominance of other sports. But the academy is determined to encourage the uptake of the sport.
The major challenge we face is that there are very, very good players from other countries, and for the Philippines to catch up, it's really a big, big job for us. So we need to find the players who not only have the talent, but also have the willingness and the focus to look at this as a long-term thing. So you invest a lot in these kids, and you hope that in the future they'll be good enough and that they do not give up the game.
Asuncion Badminton Center is essentially a training facility first, but it also readily offers its courts for public use. Despite its recent economic progress, Manila continues to have a huge percentage of its 12 million population living in poverty. The Badminton for All approach offered by the Academy has the potential to reap rewards.
This is open to everyone. There's no membership here. It's open for anyone that wants to enjoy playing badminton. You can either rent a court or you can join the trainings that we offer.
The coaches improved my games through their advices and their experiences they share with me so that I'll be able to play my game well and to bring out the best in me.
With a dedicated coaching staff, a well-equipped training facility, and an ethos of excellence, the Asuncion Badminton Center is leading the way. Add this to a renewed interest in badminton, and it may not be long before the Philippines are rubbing shoulders with the best in the world. When we get back, we're at the Yonex Sunrise Indonesian Masters in Palembang, as the country's administrators attempt to boost the sport beyond the capital. Let's take a look at the rankings. This week we focus on the men's doubles. Lee Yong-dae and Yu Yeon-sung head the table, followed by Indonesian duo Hendra Setiawan and Muhammad Ahsan. Matthias Boe and Carsten Mogensen move up a spot, swapping places with Hiroyuki Endo and Kenichi Hayakawa of Japan. Korean pairing of Ko Sung-hyun and Shin Baek-chol, as well as Indonesia's Gideon Marcus Fernaldi and Marcus Kido, rise a place to 8th and 9th respectively, whilst China's Liu Xiaolong and Qiu Zihan slip 2 to round off the top 10. Don't forget the BWF rankings are updated every Thursday, so log on to www.bwfbadminton.org to find out the latest information. Indonesia is well known for staging the highly charged, well-loved and prestigious Indonesian Open, a Super Series premier event offering a whopping $750,000 in prize money. But the country, with its long tradition in badminton, also has its hands in other smaller but equally exciting international tournaments. The recently concluded Yonex Sunrise Indonesian Masters is one such event. The Badminton Association of Indonesia, or PBSI, is looking to develop badminton in areas out of the capital, Jakarta. Events such as the Masters offers them this opportunity. This year's tournament was hosted in the historical city of Palembang on the island of Sumatra.
The reason why we choose Palembang outside of Jakarta is to give a chance to the other provinces to have international tournament. The local of PBSI also learn how to organize the big event. And also for the fans, also, it's a good chance to see international stars, because otherwise you cannot see them. You're always in Jakarta all the time.
This was the second time the Grand Prix Gold event had been held in the city. To add a little more glamour and prestige to the tournament, the name has been changed from the Indonesian Open Grand Prix Gold to the Indonesian Masters, with a higher prize money of $125,000 compared to last year's $120,000.
Palembang have all the facilities. Especially in the Gelora Sriwijaya, which they have the track and field, they have the gymnast, they have the soccer, they have aquatic. The stadium is truly quite standard, the international standard. Like in this stadium, it used to be held for the SEA Games 2011 and also for the Islamic Solidarity game last year. So it is very safe. With the facilities, we can have it here.
Although Palembang is not new to hosting global events, the local organizer still had to meet the strict requirements set by the Badminton World Federation. From the mandatory minimum 4 international standard courts to amenities for the officials and players. To meet the criteria, PBSI worked with the South Sumatra Badminton Association, offering them guidance and advice.
Dengan pihak hotel, dengan pihak imigrasi.
We were given very good support from the hotel, immigration, airport, transportation, and our friends and staff at this sports city have helped us out a lot. To be honest, hosting this event is a huge responsibility for us. But with the cooperation from various parties, we're able to carry this through successfully.
Sehingga ini bisa kita laksanakan dengan baik.
With the Asian Games just a week after the tournament, there was the absence of the big names. But not that you could tell from the reaction of the crowd. The organizer had made a concerted effort to entice the fans to the event, offering tickets at affordable prices and engaging with them.
We had an opportunity to talk to some of the audience who said they only used to watch badminton on TV and now they watch it live. They get to watch the national and international players, and that is a good thing, not only for them, but us as well.
As the curtain came down on Gor Jakabaring, the 2015 Yonex Sunrise Indonesian Masters is looking for a new home. The association has Makassar, Surabaya and Bali in mind, but decisions will not be made till the end of the year.
Firstly, the city has to have a suitable venue for an international tournament to take place. The facilities have to be of a certain standard. Secondly, it has to have a strong support and a good organization. And not forgetting, it is important to have enough money for the tournament to run smoothly without any problems financially.
The people of South Sumatra's love for badminton is not just merely as fans and spectators. Palembang has also been successful at producing badminton stars of their own. One half of the country's #1 men's doubles, Muhammad Ahsan, 2013 Southeast Asian Games gold medalist mixed doubles shuttler Debbie Susanto, and 2013 Badminton Asia Championships bronze medal winner Fran Kurniawan all hail from the city.
Ini merupakan motivasi bagi calon-calon.
The players' achievements will motivate and encourage the younger badminton players in Palembang and the surrounding areas that if they work hard and have the drive, they too can succeed, like Hassan and Debbie. This is extremely important. From then on, they can support their families as well. The way I see it, there's always a future for a badminton player.
Atlet bulu tangkis.
As the day drew to a close, the people behind the South Sumatra Badminton Association could be proud of putting on a good show. They had successfully hosted a major tournament on the BWF circuit and had put their own stamp on the growth of the sport in the country.
I truly believe in the value of this tournament to the community. It's all about making a difference. The ones who keep their badminton rackets at home will now get on the courts and play.
Before we go, let's find out what's happening on the international circuit in our Badminton Unlimited calendar. Next week on Badminton Unlimited, we catch up with one of the greatest competitors to have played the game, Morten Frost, as he talks about his career and the rise of the sport. And we're in Kathmandu to find out how badminton is developing in the mountainous nation of Nepal.